Hey guys, we're going to be reading a story called Backwards and Forwards today. All the other stories that we've been reading so far are nonfiction, and this story, of course, as you can probably tell by the pictures, is fiction. We're going to start with the questions as always. We're not answering all the questions, so go ahead and get a highlighter or a pencil to circle or highlight the words or the questions that you are going to answer. Number 1, what is the problem in the story? Number 2, what vehicles does Anna use to try to get home? What happens when she tries each one? Number 5, what happens when Anna looks at her water bottle? Why is this such an important moment in the story? Number 6, what is the author implying with the lines, all of a sudden her eyes lit up? Anna knew just what to do. Number 7, why do you think the author used an ewe instead of a sheep for the main character? Why do you think it was noon at the beginning of the story and not any other time? All right, so now we're going to take a moment to read the story. Go ahead and read it independently. Read it by yourself. Pause the video. And once you're done, you can play the video again. All right, now that you have read the story by yourself, we're going to read it together. Backwards and forwards. Anna the ewe could not wait to see her mom and dad after a fun week at camp. It is almost noon, she thought. She jumped into her race car and drove forwards down the street. Suddenly, the race car went backwards. Before she knew it, she was back where she had started. That was odd. She hopped into her kayak and started moving forwards along the river. Suddenly, the kayak went backwards. She was back where she had started. Why did that happen again? Think, Anna, think. Anna took a drink from her water bottle while she was thinking. She had written her name on the bottle for camp. A-N-N-A. Wow, that's cool. My name is spelled the same forward and backward. Anna thought about the R-A-C-E-C-A-R. Anna thought about the K-A-Y-A-K. She took them forwards, but they just went backwards. All of a sudden, her eyes lit up. Anna knew just what to do. When Anna landed, she could see that she had not gone backwards. Anna ran inside the airport. She hugged her mom and dad. "Welcome home," her dad said. "How was your trip?" Mom asked. Anna could not wait to tell them all about it. Palindromes. A palindrome is a word that reads the same when it's spelled forwards or backward. So that is a palindrome. So let's go ahead and take a look at these questions again. What is the problem in the story? What problem does Anna have? See if you can find some evidence from the text to prove the problem in the story. All right, here's the problem. It is going to be, whoopsies, blue. Okay, so the problem in the story. Okay, so the problem was that the race car went backward and the kayak went backward. And so she was never able to get anywhere. She always went backward. So that was the problem in the story. What vehicles does Anna use to try to get home? What happens when she tries each one? All right, go ahead and highlight or underline the vehicles that she uses to try and get home. Anna tries to use a race car, and she also tries to use her kayak. What happens when she tries each one? Number 5, what happens when Anna looks at her water bottle? Why is this such an important moment in the story? So down here on the second page, she looks at her water bottle. She looks at her name written on it. All of this is kind of evidence as to why that was so important to the story. These 2 questions you'll kind of have to think of on your own. You could use some evidence from the story, of course, but it's not as straightforward. You really have to think about these. Number 6, what is the author implying with the lines, all of a sudden her eyes lit up? Anna knew just what to do. We can highlight that part just so you know where to find it. All of a sudden her eyes lit up. Anna knew just what to do. So there we go. She had to find some way to get home, right? Okay. And then number 7, why do you think the author used a U instead of a sheep for the main character? And why do you think it was noon at the beginning of the story and not any other time? That one is a little tricky, and you'll really have to think about that. Why would the author use you instead of sheep? What makes you so special and important to the story? Same thing with noon. Why didn't they say morning? They could have used morning, but instead the author specifically chose noon. Why? All right, once you are finished answering all of those questions, go ahead and either take a picture of your answers, or you can just turn them in when you take everything to the office, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.